I am calling this evening's special session to order. This will be followed immediately by a committee of the whole. Today's date is Wednesday, September 29th, 2021. Will the clerk please call the roll?
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Councilmember Rallo,
Here.
Bolin,
Here.
Rosenberger,
Here.
Scambolari,
Here.
Sims,
Here.
Flaherty,
Here.
Piedmont Smith,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Sandberg.
Here.
Okay, thank you very much. We're all present. Moving on to the agenda summation. We have legislation this evening for first reading. First will be Appropriation Ordinance 21-02, an ordinance for appropriations and tax rates establishing 2022 civil city budget for the city of Bloomington. Next will be Appropriation Ordinance 21-03, an ordinance adopting a budget for the operation, maintenance, debt service, and capital improvements for the water and wastewater utility departments of the city of Bloomington, Indiana, for the year 2022. Number 3 would be an Appropriation Ordinance 21-04, appropriations and tax rates for Bloomington Transportation Corporation for 2022. Number 4, Ordinance 21-36, an ordinance fixing the salaries of officers of the police and fire departments for the city of Bloomington, Indiana for the year 2022. Next, number 5 is Ordinance 21-37, an ordinance fixing the salaries of appointed officers, non-union and AFSCME employees for all of the departments of the city of Bloomington, Monroe County, Indiana for the year 2022. Next, number 6 is Ordinance 21-38, to fix the salaries of all elected city officials for the city of Bloomington for the year 2022. And number 7 and last is Ordinance 21-39, an ordinance to amend Ordinance 20-22, which fixed salaries for officers of the police and fire departments for the year 2021 regarding pay grade changes for police lieutenants and captains, additional pay and retention pay. Then we will deal with matters having to do with the council schedule, and then we will adjourn this special session and immediately begin with the committee of the whole. Okay, I do believe we have legislation for first reading this evening. Councilmember Flaherty.
Mr. President, I'd like to move that Appropriation Ordinance 21-02 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved that Appropriation Ordinance 21-02 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
You mean read?
We do take a roll call vote on introduction.
I'm sorry.
For the remote
Okay.
meetings. So thank you.
Got you. Yeah. Councilmember Bolin,
Yes.
Councilmember Rosenberger,
Yes.
Scambolari,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
and Rallo.
Yes.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded.
And Ms.
Sorry.
and
Go
Ms.
ahead.
Stoll, I will say yes as well. I think you may have missed me on that one.
Okay. Sorry.
No worries. Thanks.
Smith, yes. Okay.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith. It has been properly moved and seconded that Appropriation Ordinance 21-02 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please read?
Appropriation Ordinance 2102, an ordinance for appropriation and tax rates establishing the 2022 civil city budget for the city of Bloomington. That's all there is to it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, I do believe we have more legislation for first reading.
Mr. President, I believe we'll want to refer each of these to committee of the whole of the session to follow this one, if that is your intent as well.
Actually, thank you. I thought we would do that all at the end, but thank you, however. I will refer Appropriation Ordinance 21-02 to the Committee of the Whole to be held on September 29th. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, October 6th committee. I'm sorry. Will be referred to Committee of the Whole on October 6th at 6:30 p.m. Mr. Lucas, before I move further, and I'm looking at my schedule, am I correct on that date?
No, the Committee of the Whole scheduled immediately following the special session is
I'm
Where are
sorry,
you?
that's where we refer. Okay, thank you very much. We got confused, got a lot of stuff on our calendar. So thank you very much. Appropriation Ordinance 21-02. I will refer to the Committee of the Whole, which will commence immediately after this special session. Thank you, Councilmember Flaherty. Councilmember Flaherty.
Of course. I'd like to move that Appropriation Ordinance 21-03 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second that Appropriation Ordinance 21-03 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes. Councilmember Rosenbarger,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Rallo,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think that was everyone. It has been moved and properly second that Appropriation Ordinance 21-03 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please read?
Appropriation Ordinance 2103, an ordinance adopting a budget for the operation, maintenance, debt service, and capital improvements for the water and wastewater utility departments of the city of Bloomington, Indiana for the year 2022. Synopsis: this ordinance, approved by the Utility Service Board in August of 2021, sets the water and wastewater budgets for 2022.
Thank you. Appropriation Ordinance 21-03 will be referred to the Committee of the Whole, which is to commence immediately after this special session. Thank you. I do believe we have more legislation for first reading. Councilmember Flaherty.
Move that Appropriation Ordinance 21-04 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. Been properly moved and second that Appropriation Ordinance 21-04 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Scambolery,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Rallo,
Yes.
Bolin,
Yes.
Rosenbarger.
Thank you very much. Been properly moved in second that Appropriation Ordinance 21-04 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please read?
Appropriation Ordinance 2104, appropriations and tax rates for Bloomington Transportation Corporation for 2022. No synopsis, just that.
Thank you very much. Appropriation Ordinance 21-04 will be referred to the Committee of the Whole, commencing immediately after this special session. We do have more legislation for first reading.
I move that Ordinance 21-36 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that ordinance 31-36 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Rallo,
Yes.
Bolin,
Yes.
Rosenbarger.
Yes.
Scambolery.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That motion has been properly moved and second. Will the clerk please read for ordinance 21-36?
Ordinance 2136, an ordinance fixing the salaries of officers of the police and fire departments for the city of Bloomington, Indiana for the year 2022. Synopsis, this ordinance sets the minimum and maximum salary rates for all sworn fire and police personnel for the year 2022 in accordance with council-approved collective bargaining agreements.
Thank you. I am referring ordinance 21-36 to the committee of the whole, which will commence immediately after the special session today. Thank you. Councilmember Flaherty.
I'd like to move that ordinance 21-37 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. That ordinance 21-37 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith, excuse me,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Rallo,
Yes.
Volin,
Yes.
Rosenbarger,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
and Sims.
Yes. Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded. For ordinance 21-37, will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 2137, an ordinance fixing the salaries of appointed officers, non-union, and AFSCME employees for all the departments of the city of Bloomington, Monroe County, Indiana, for the year 2022. Synopsis. This ordinance sets the maximum 2022 salary for all appointed officers, non-union, and AFSCME employees for all the departments of the city of Bloomington, Indiana.
Thank you. Ordinance 21-37 will be referred to the committee of the whole, which will commence immediately after this special session today. Councilmember Flaherty.
Move that ordinance 21-38 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved that ordinance 21-38 be introduced and read by the clerk by the title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Rallo,
Yes.
Volin,
Yes.
Rosenbarger,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty.
Yes.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded that ordinance 21-38 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 2138 to fix the salaries of all elected city officials for the city of Bloomington for the year 2022. Synopsis, this ordinance sets the maximum 2022 salary rate for all elected city officials for the city of Bloomington.
Thank you. I am referring ordinance 21-38 to the committee of the whole, which will commence immediately after this special session today. Councilmember Flaherty.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to move that ordinance 21-39 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. Been properly moved and seconded that ordinance 21-39 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Rallo,
Yes.
Volin,
Yes.
Rosenbarger,
Yes.
Scambalori,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded. And that motion passes. That ordinance 21-39 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 2139, an ordinance to amend ordinance 2022, which fixed salaries for officers of the police and fire departments for the year 2021 regarding pay grade changes for police lieutenants and captains, additional pay and retention pay. Synopsis. This ordinance amends ordinance 2022, which fixed the salaries for officers of the police and fire departments for the year 2021. The ordinance changes police lieutenant and captain pay grades and provides retention pay for certain sworn police. Note, this ordinance was revised after distribution in the legislative packet, but before introduction at the September 29th, 2021 special session to correct the year listed in section 2D from 2022 to 2021.
Thank you very much. That completes all of the legislation that is to be introduced for first reading this evening. We will now move on the agenda.
President.
And I'm so sorry, Councilmember Flaherty.
Sorry, I think we just skipped over the referral of that particular ordinance to committee of the whole. So just wanted to make sure we got that in.
Thank you very much. I will refer ordinance 21-39 to the committee of the whole, which will commence immediately after this special session today. Thank you, Councilmember Flaherty. Now we will move on to matters of council schedule. Mr. Lucas.
Yes, thank you. Just one quick note that the current public health emergency declaration extends until tomorrow. When I last checked, which was about 5 minutes ago, the governor hadn't yet posted or indicated whether he would extend that emergency declaration. So if that declaration is extended to next week's regular session and committee meeting will be held on Zoom, as we've been doing since last year. If the emergency is not extended, we will conduct next week's meeting as a hybrid meeting, and we will need a majority of you to be present in person, although we should know, I think by tomorrow, whether the governor intends to extend that emergency declaration. So please just stay tuned. We'll notify you once we hear. So that is all I've got for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We have completed our business for this special session. We will immediately be followed by the committee of the whole chaired by Councilmember Scambalori. And if there's no objections, this special session is hereby adjourned.